Before you were barbering, what kind of work were you into?
I started out, I left home at 16. Left Lloydminster and came out to Penticton in 1947, 46, 47. I never did go back to, I had enough of that farm work. So I, going from farming with misery. Back in those days, which came out of the 30s, yeah, 1944, 43, 45, 1945. It was like, things are just hardly starting up again after the war. So I had a hard time adjusting to the poverty. I didn't want that anymore, so I left and went into a lot of jobs. I did logging a couple of months, and I worked in sawmills and a dairy farm out in the Okanagan for a year, 2 years. I did just about everything. Picked apples, I did everything. And I drove cab, the yellow cab, in Edmonton for 10 years, part-time. I drove trucks in the daytime and cab at night sometimes.
So when did the light bulb come on in your head and said, I think I'll be a barber?
My back went on me, let's put it that way. And I spent 10 days on a board, just a board and a sheet in the General Hospital, Edmonton. And the specialist told me then I had this problem with my back. It was disintegrating, the type of work I was doing. So he said I would look for something else. So anyway, I was pretty despondent about this, because I either an operation or a wheelchair. So he said, if you got out the kind of work you could maybe skip the wheelchair. So I did. I went, pardon me, I was walking down the street one morning, and I ran into this guy on the sidewalk, and we were talking, and I had to look up, and there was a barber shop, a training school. So I started talking to him about barbering. What's it like and whatnot? Well, he told me, he says, barbers are a dime a dozen, but good ones are hard to find. I thought, well, maybe it is a challenge here. My mother cut my hair until I left home. So I guess it was in me. I thought it over, and then, maybe 4 or 5 days later, I found myself with the training with the government. People look after Board of Education.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a building there on 97th Avenue, 105 Street. Phoned them. He says, made his appointment. Go talk to him. By that time, I had 5 kids. I told him what my problems, my back problems and whatnot, everything. And I guess he would smell sorry at me for me, because he told me about me too opening up this school. He says, a big city. He says, and we do have a training school there. They're going to open up and be a part of it. So he said, why don't you put your name in there? So I did. I made up the form right before him and handed it to him, and he stuck it in there. About a week later, I get a call. He says, you better come in and see me. He said, I think I can do something for you. So I went in there. He handed me this letter of acceptance. He accepted me in my application. So that's how it started.